If you're Malaysian like me and the Steam Deck is not officially sold here, then you're probably considering the ROG Ally now that it's no longer sold out. When the Steam Deck was released back in early 2022, the gaming community praised it for its innovations and affordability as basically a portable handheld gaming PC. Though some people did have minor concerns with their hardware capabilities, the ROG Ally is designed to make up the difference in pure performance. But is it actually a better product than the Steam Deck? Also, with multiple firmware updates since launch, is it better in 2023? So the ROG Ally is currently priced at 3299 ringgit, which is a little bit more expensive than the similarly spec'd Steam Deck. While the Steam Deck runs on a Linux-based Steam OS, the ROG Ally is trying to offer us full Windows functionality, including browsers, apps, and Discord. Should we consider this as a portable handheld gaming device, a portable PC, or both? You know what, let me just tell you what I like, what I don't, and what are some parts that could be improved but aren't really deal breakers. Starting out with the pros, let's not beat around the bush. Most of you are probably just wondering if this ROG Ally is going to perform better than the Steam Deck in terms of gaming. Well, on day one, while the ROG Ally did outperform the Steam Deck in every operating mode but the silent mode, it wasn't super impressive considering the price difference. However, based on Dave2D's review a couple months back, things seem to have improved drastically with the new firmware updates. Naturally, we had to test it out. Before we start, just for your information, all these games are run with FSR off. Okay, so during launch at 9 watts, which I had to manually set the ROG Ally to, the Ally was laughably bad when compared to the Steam Deck. With the new driver update, it has gotten better, but still, at lower power modes, the Steam Deck is still king. Moving up to 15 watts, with the new driver, we're seeing a significant jump in FPS. This is also where the ROG Ally starts to dominate the Steam Deck in terms of performance. And finally, at the 25 watt turbo mode, which is the maximum operating mode that you can get the ROG Ally to operate at without plugging it in, it is evident that the ROG Ally is much better at handling heavier games like Starfield and also Cyberpunk 2077. If you mainly play AAA titles like me, then the ROG Ally is the obvious choice. So because the Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor in the Ally seems to be derived from AMD's Ryzen 7 7840U, which is a laptop processor, it will probably never run as efficiently at the lowest 10 watt mode as the Steam Deck. However, if you have an XG Mobile with a decent external GPU, it will actually make for a half-decent desktop PC. By default, the Steam Deck is locked to the Steam platform. You have to fiddle around quite a bit just to get it to run Windows or other game launchers like Epic. On the other hand, since the ROG Ally runs Windows 11 out of the box, you have access to every PC game no matter which launcher it is on. Wanna play Diablo 4 on Battle.net? Mo mantai. Wanna kill some bunnies in Red Dead Redemption 2? Go right ahead! Also, while some games are available on other platforms, the Steam Deck and this ROG Ally are the only portable handheld devices that you can play certain games exclusively. I'm talking about something like the Final Fantasy VII Remake that just got released on Steam. Sure, it came out on PlayStation first, but can you watch Cloud dance in a dress from the comfort of your bed? Cannot, right? Let us move on to the device itself. The first thing you'll notice with the ROG Ally is its sleek, clean, and rather futuristic design with its matte white plastic casing and holographic stickers. It's giving Stormtrooper vibes for sure. Even has RGBs around the joysticks, which are crazy bright by default. I mean, I actually find them distracting because they are very close to the screen. I would rather have the RGB closer to the edges of the device. But you know what? At least you can customize or turn them off in the settings. The build quality is also pretty good. It does not flex, and this white plastic shell is actually pretty robust and solid. It's not the tandoori chair kind of cheap white plastic, but more the expensive atas water dispenser kind of white plastic. Compared to the Steam Deck, while having the same thickness, the ROG Ally is a little shorter and about 61 grams lighter. That might not seem like much, but we found the weight to be a little bit more manageable. I mean, if you're coming from a Switch, for instance, it's quite a bit heavier lah. Lighter is always better. You're trying to game, not bicep curl, okay? Overall, the device feels very comfortable in my hands during longer sessions, not much strain on the wrists and forearms. In terms of button layout, it's very similar to the Xbox controller. The joysticks feel very smooth, but a little less resistant than the ones on the PS5 controller, for instance. The buttons also feel very tactile and responsive, and I haven't gotten them jammed once yet since I've tested it. But judging by some of the recent threads on Reddit, it seems like the button issue has not been resolved quite yet. If you're facing issues with your ROG Ally's buttons, leave a comment down below. Oh yeah, people with smaller hands might find the buttons a little bit of a reach to get to. Not for me lah, because I don't have small hands. Hey, come on, see ya. Oh my god. You see? What is this nonsense? One more thing to note is that the ROG Ally stays pretty chill with their zero gravity thermal system. What is that? Jokes aside, heat is exhausted via two vents positioned upwards away from your hands. None of that palms are sweaty, mom spaghetti nonsense. Next up, the screen is gorgeous. What we have here is a 7-inch 1080p IPS touchscreen in a 16:9 aspect ratio with a max refresh rate of 120Hz and a peak brightness of 500 nits, which is superior than the Steam Deck's very basic 720p 60Hz screen that is also 100 nits darker. In my opinion, the screen is one of the features that make the ROG Ally stand out from a user's perspective. The screen is even bright enough for you to take your big boss fight outside like a real Chad. Now, how does the ROG Ally sound? As you can see, there are a pair of speakers next to the screen, and it has a balanced sound signature, which is pretty versatile and good for watching videos and listening to music. Though it does lack a little in the bass department, which is very important to give you an immersive gaming experience. Explosions and gunshots are all about the bass, and this one don't have because it's very white. The speakers also get quite loud, which will drown out any fan noise, which is surprisingly low and quiet and bearable while you are gaming, which is good. But of course, if you prefer headphones, you can always connect to the headphone jack that is provided on top for the ultimate immersion. For the minority in us gamers who like to Discord and chill, there is a built-in microphone for you to, speak to your Discord crush. Next, the connectivity options are pretty decent. Physically, you get the XG Mobile combo port, which includes the USB-C and a single headphone jack. You also get a micro SD card slot for you game hoarders who like to hoard your games. The XG Mobile port allows you to connect an external GPU, which will help you transform this into a desktop with desktop-like performance. Here are some benchmarks with the XG Mobile in case you want to spend another few grand on an external GPU. I mean, your money ma. As you can see from TimeSpy, the Z1 Extreme chip is no slouch in terms of CPU power. Even with just the RX 6850M XT, you're getting a whole different class of gaming experience altogether. Like I said, you can almost run this like a desktop, but I didn't run any productivity benchmarks because I really wouldn't recommend that you use the Steam Deck like this. Basically, in terms of gaming, you can expect more than 100 FPS for most games in 720p and very respectable frame rates in 1080p in case you want to go for high or ultra settings. You can even try out 1440p or 4K with an external monitor if you lower your settings, and also turn on FSR. Even without the external GPU, you can still connect your keyboard, mouse, and external display. You'll probably need a USB-C hub with a HDMI port or display port, or get a monitor with USB-C display support. In terms of wireless connectivity, we get Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2, which is an upgrade over the Steam Deck. This will give you a slight advantage for things like cloud gaming, which is better supported with this ROG Ally because it runs on Windows. Now let's move on to the cons. There is no nice way to put it. compared to the Steam OS, which still needs a little getting used to. I know this is meant to be a gaming product, but changing your settings and accessing your games should not be this complicated. The command center is pretty convenient though, because it allows you to change your settings on the fly, but even that has some issues. This is partially due to the fact that the ROG Ally is running on Windows 11, while allowing us access to most desktop apps and other game launchers, and a fingerprint reader that works pretty well to ward off your annoying nephews. Windows 11, while having decent touch support, is still not exactly optimized for small screens, which is why Windows Phone is no longer a thing. Steam OS is still objectively better when it comes to touch and controller support. Again, if you want to fully hook it up for productivity purposes, I would just get a laptop lah. At least it has a large enough screen for you to work off of. Time for the mess. Firstly, the battery. It actually charges quite a bit faster than the Steam Deck, especially with the included 65-watt charger. Having a 40-watt-hour battery that is similar to the Steam Deck, the battery life is, well, pretty meh. You can switch between 3 operating modes, which are Silent 10 watts, Performance 15 watts, or Turbo 25 watts. If you're playing AAA titles like Diablo 4 though, you're going to be stuck with Performance and Turbo mode. You can expect around 1 to 2 hours of gameplay on the average before the battery flatlines. Unless you are running less demanding games like Disco Elysium and Octopath Traveler. It is comparable to the Steam Deck in the higher operating modes, but when it comes to the 9-watt mode, the Steam Deck is the clear winner. The second meh. Come on ROG. You can put 2 USB-C ports on your gaming phones, but there's only one in this portable handheld gaming PC? Where can? The third meh is that it don't matter if you're black or white. But does it matter? If you don't like it white or are worried about potential white case yellowing, then you're probably going to skip this or just use some third-party skins, like the ones from our sponsor, D-Brand. Just kidding. Malaysia got a D-Brand. Oh, we cannot make LTT references anymore. To recap, here are the pros, mehs, and cons of the ROG Ally. I would give the ROG Ally a very solid hashtag cheap buy, bring to the toilet to play Diablo 4. 8.5 out of 10. To conclude, is it good or not? Well, compared to the Steam Deck, at 3299 ringgit, its sheer performance upgrade, especially with the newer updates in terms of the firmware, is actually, well, worth it. Who is it for then? In my point of view, 2 types of people. Number 1, a PC gamer who wants to expand his gaming experience outside of his bedroom into his bathroom, or while he's traveling, then something like this would be cool for you to grind in Diablo 4 for gear, for instance, or play Baldur's Gate. Or the group number 2, which are console gamers that want a taste of the PC master race goodness, but don't want to spend for like a powerful gaming laptop or a gaming PC. I would not recommend buying this if you are thinking about a laptop that you want to game and also do productivity stuff, because the screen is so small. Okay, if you need to connect an external screen, then it's no longer that portable anymore. But if you're a super niche consumer that has an Xflow 13, for instance, with the XG Mobile external GPU already before this, then buying this could be a cool option, because you can take this out and game on the go, and then you can take home and then plug it into your XG Mobile thing that also works as a dock and also hub with HDMI output and all that stuff, and get all your connectivity when you are seated. Not bad. That is everything I have to say about the ROG Ally. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to like and share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell to see more content like this. Also, leave a comment down below if you, have any problems with the buttons of your ROG Ally, or if you have any questions regarding this device, and I'll try my best to reply to you. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram to see more shenanigans from the Mob House crew. Again, my name is Bangsawan Shane from Mob House, and I will see you in the next one.